I want to start by saying rest in power to George Floyd. Not everyone is religious. I believe in God and I pray that he is with his mother. It's about maybe 30 minutes from curfew where I'm at here in Colorado. They just actually lowered the curfew or raised it, or I don't even know. I don't check the alerts on my phone at this point, but there are quite literally 2 police cars out on the corner of my block as I'm filming this. For all my viewers who are Black, I pray to God that you are okay and that you are alive and well and that your family is well and that you are both physically and mentally well, which like we're not. And if you're someone who is protesting, I went out Saturday. I work during the day, so I had to go pretty late, so I was cutting it pretty close when it came to the curfew. And when I tell you, I have never in my life, like physically in my life, I've seen it on TV, I've seen it on the news, we've all seen it before, we've all seen what military force looks like and what police brutality looks like. We've seen those videos, we all have. But to see it firsthand and to quite literally see police officers hurting people and threatening, like they were counting down, they're like, y'all have 10 minutes and then we're gonna arrest you. It was terrifying. Like I said, as I'm speaking, I'm looking out the window because I live in the city, so I'm quite literally like 10 minutes from like the main street that everyone's protesting on here, and every single night I have heard it and I have seen it. The thought of staying out there at night is terrifying. So everyone who's protesting, specifically past curfew, which they just made it illegal, I think now, at least in some, like I don't know, every 10 minutes I check the news, it's like it doesn't even matter, they're arresting people and they're killing people anyways. So if you're out there protesting, if you're out there risking your life right now, which as a Black person in America, just by breathing you're risking your life, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Every person who's protesting and is actively out there, you guys are putting yourselves on the front line, and that is the most courageous thing I have ever seen in my life. Black people are dying in America. We are being killed. We are being murdered. We are being, everyone saw the video. I don't need to explain what's going on. I'm done explaining what's going on because like the amount of people that have messaged me asking me to explain what is happening. If you are someone right now who has seen what's going on and you don't know what to do, then Google it. Like go and Google it. Look it up, look up Black Lives Matter, look up George Floyd. It is not that hard, okay? The fact that it takes you having to research to figure out how to support a movement that is literally do not kill Black people for being Black. The purpose of me making this video is for a couple of reasons. The first thing is that I want to address, if you don't know what's going on right now, I recently terminated my contract with BookOutlet, which seems so irrelevant and so small in comparison to like what is happening right now. For the past 5 years, I've been working with a company called BookOutlet. If you don't know what BookOutlet is, it is a company that I used to love. And I say used to because with everything that just happened, they're a ghost. But no, I'm gonna talk about them in this video, and I hope that this is the last video I make about them or the last time I even address them, because I don't want to give that company any more space on my platform. I don't want to talk about them any more than I have to, so I'm gonna put this video out so you guys know, because I know many of you have used BookOutlet or have gone on their website or bought books because of me, and I'm so sorry. I should have done better. I would take full responsibility of not investigating. I think I hate the word influencers, but as influencers or as anyone with a platform, whenever we partner with a company or whenever we work with a company, we absolutely need to be doing our research as to what that company stands for. Just you have to do your research, especially now. Like if you're a creator right now, I need you, this is something that I started doing for the past 3 days, go and research every single company that you've partnered with, that you are partnered with, see what they have to say, because when I tell you I have blocked and unfriended and terminated many contracts this week, it has just been one, like everyone is just, wow, the racism is just on full display right now. Anyways, so BookOutlet was a company that I've been working with for the past 5 years, and I genuinely loved that company. Like you guys know, if you've been following me since 2015, like when I started my channel, I repped BookOutlet so hard. I was ordering from BookOutlet before they reached out to me. I didn't even explain. Okay, so they have a program called a Vlogger Friend program, where essentially they have a page and they have, it ranged from like 5 to 7 vloggers featured over the years. I think the most they had is 7. So I posted a video called Being Black on Booktube about a year ago, and it was basically just me explaining my experience on Booktube, specifically being a Black person on Booktube, a person of color. And I went into detail, and one of the points that I made in that video was that BookOutlet was the first company, like, I'm pretty sure one of the first companies to ever reach out to me, to partner with me, to work with me, to feature my content on their website. They're a book retail website, so you can go and buy books for a really, really affordable price, which was huge for me because I could not afford books at the time. My very first video, if you guys watched, it was a white wall. I owned 10 books and half of them were library books. They gave me a little bit of money. They also, the biggest thing was they included a gift card, and I don't know if I'm legally allowed to say how much the gift card was worth, but it was more than what I had at the time, which was nothing. So having anything, like anyone giving me a gift card saying, here's a gift card to buy books, it was like the biggest opportunity for me. Like, I repped this company so hard. Like, like I said, even before they reached out to me, I was in love with BookOutlet. It was the first company I ever saw that actually made books I could afford. Like, I couldn't spend $20 on a book. That was astronomical to me. And then I discovered this website where I could find books for like $3, $2, and it was like suddenly, you know, I was reading like 3-4 books a week. So 3-4 books a week times $20 a book. Also, at the time, the area I lived in, the library was really small. So I kid you not, within like 3 months, I had gone through the entire YA section of the library. So yeah, I loved BookOutlet. Anytime any person in my personal life, online, offline, whenever someone asked me like, oh, where do you buy your books? I'd be like, BookOutlet. Someone reached out to BookOutlet on Twitter and asked them a very straightforward question, a very simple question, which was, why do you only have one Black booktuber as a vlogger friend? Which I completely, again, I take responsibility for not consistently checking in on who they were inviting to be vlogger friends. I don't know how long the partnership contracts were for other people, but I know for me it was like 3 months at a time. So some people would renew their contracts and remain vlogger friends, some would go. It kind of cycled over the past 5 years, but the one thing's for certain is that they did not have enough color. Someone quite literally just straightforward asked, like, you have one Black booktuber, what are you gonna do to fix it? Didn't read, I don't think BookOutlet had responded yet. But I saw another thread with other Black booktubers who started sharing stories about how they had reached out to BookOutlet and either hadn't gotten a response back or got some real like generic, like, oh, we'll put you on file, and then never heard anything. And it wasn't just one Black booktuber, it was multiple. So then I read this thread, came back to the other thread, and when I tell you my blood boiled, like, there was 2 keywords in their tweet that triggered me, okay? And I'm pretty sure it triggered every Black person who read that. Like, the proper response was, yes, there is a lack of diversity. We don't have enough Black booktubers as vlogger friends. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna reach out to people today. We're gonna reach out to people this week. You're gonna see a change. Or even just like, yeah, please recommend us some Black booktubers you would like to see as vlogger friends. Like, any of those responses would have been fine, but instead, let me just read what they wrote. They wrote, our vlogger friends are chosen based on engagement, following, and content. We maintain a family-friendly appearance, so we do not sign on applicants who swear or post explicit content. Diversity is important, and we have been looking to round out our team with qualified men and women. Family friendly, not one Black person who read that and read family friendly. What does family friendly mean? What does family friendly mean? Because there are vloggers on the vlogger friend page who are white, who swear they're family friendly. Somehow a Black person who is expressing the same emotions, the same passion, who is using the same words is not family friendly. Literally, as soon as I read that, it took me back to when I used to work retail, and I literally got pulled into the manager's office and she told me I couldn't wear my hair down. Mind you, my hair was short at the time, so I just had like a huge afro. I didn't work in any food industry, so I wasn't dealing with food, so I would have understood if it was like, hey, you gotta wear like a hairnet or something, right? You don't want hair to get in the food. That's understandable. No, she pulled me in, and I'm sure every black person has experienced this, and she sat me down and she said, you can't wear your hair down. I had white co-workers, females with long hair, who wore their hair down every day, not a problem. The only difference was that I was a person of color, my hair was curly, it was an afro, and somehow it was considered unprofessional and inappropriate style or way to do my hair at work. It wasn't even in my contract. Like, there's anyone who's worked retail, you know, like, and they give you a contract of like how you're supposed to dress. They said nothing about, there was not one sentence addressing hair. This was just this manager's personal preference. Anyways, I'm sharing this story because as soon as I read that tweet and they said they were looking for family friendly, I'm like, you mean white? I tweeted back, I said, wow, please respond to my email. I emailed them immediately to terminate my contract because I'm like, this is not acceptable. Like, this is not acceptable. I was still under contract to film 2 videos with them. And in my contract originally, there was a fee listed saying like I had to pay a fee if I didn't complete the contract. So I emailed them and I'm like, I want to terminate my contract. Like, whatever the fee is, like, send me an invoice. I'm done. I want you to take down all my stuff off your website. I'm done. Like, I want to terminate this. After I did that, I went on Twitter and I replied, wow, please respond to my email. I'd like to terminate my contract immediately. When I became a vlogger friend, my channel was small. Here since the beginning, you know, when I first started working with BookOutlet, I think I had like 5,000. It was under 10,000. I mentioned it in my being black on booktube video, but it was small. Like, it was very small. I was getting maybe like 1,000 or 2,000 views. So my engagement, which is the other thing they listed here, engagement and following, it was also low. It was a total lie, you guys. Like, I read that and I, like, you know when something's such a flat out lie, you just start laughing. That's what I felt when I read the tweet, because I was like, you guys, you reached out to me when I had like, I had just been on YouTube for like a year, barely. So anyways, that was the first lie. And then I said I could barely afford books, and if maintaining a family-friendly appearance means white, I'm out. Not your token black girl, do better. So this was the straw that broke the camel's back. Literally, I think it was like 2 or 3 hours later, I get tagged in a post. And turns out the reason why I didn't receive an email was because they sent my email, or I guess whatever generic copy and paste email they had planned to send to me, they sent it to another vlogger friend, and she literally tagged me and she was like, I'm not Naya, you might want to send this to the correct person. I was tearing up because I worked for this company for 5 years. I repped this company so hard for 5 years. I love this company and I have supported this company, not just, you know, because I was a vlogger friend with them, but like I said, in my personal life, whenever I would do book events and I would meet people, you know, I was like, check out BookOutlet, check out BookOutlet. If I love you, like, I won't stop talking about you. Like, you couldn't even make sure that email went to the right person. I had to read your reply, not in my own inbox, but on Twitter, of a screenshot because you sent it to the wrong person. Like, really? Like, is that how disposable I am? Like, again, I take full responsibility for not doing my own research, not checking up on them, seeing who they were renewing contracts with and who they were reaching out to. So I apologize to everyone, all the other booktubers who reached out to them, the black booktubers who reached out to them and were denied or given the cold shoulder. I wish I knew sooner. I would have severed ties with them far sooner. I would have called them out on their BS a lot sooner. Didn't charge me any of the fees. That was like the one that was the one thing. Now, something I wanted to talk about that I didn't mention in my Being Black on Booktube video is colorism, and it is a huge, the longer I have been working, kind of like, I guess you could say, in media, colorism is a huge thing and it's a huge issue. As you guys know, I'm a mixed race individual, so my dad's black, my mom is Hawaiian and Filipino, I have lighter skin. This is a privilege. Me looking and having the color skin that I do is a privilege. For anyone who doesn't understand what colorism is, very briefly, colorism is when a company, when a person chooses, you know, usually it's like, okay, they have to choose a black person, right, for their diversity quota. So they'll go and they'll choose a person that has more European features, that has lighter skin, that basically looks more like them. Again, I'm not white, but the color of my skin, the features of my face all of that plays. Even like the texture of my hair, texturism, oh my god, that could be a whole other video. That's all the black girls watching know this. 4C hair is freaking beautiful, and you don't have to have big curly spot, like no, screw that. Texturism, colorism, the way you look, the more European you look, the more palatable you are as a black person, the more opportunities you get. It's so interesting because being a mixed race individual, people look at me and they either only see that I'm black or they don't see that I'm a black at all. So it's one of the extremes. And this is something that I haven't heard other booktubers, specifically white booktubers, talk about. When you work with a company, at least I would say 50% of the time, companies always reach out and ask for like suggestions for like other booktubers or, you know, other people, other creators that might be interested. For me personally, I would say I only recommend black booktubers. Specifically, I'm just talking about Booktube because that's where I get my opportunities for partnerships and stuff. Specifically darker skinned black booktubers, because they're not getting opportunities. And as someone who is being asked, hey, who should we reach out to? You should only be recommending black booktubers and booktubers of color. I've made it a habit of whenever I work with a company and I either end the partnership or I go to renew a partnership, I'm always just like, hey, it was great doing this partnership. Here's some other booktubers that I think you should check out. Colorism is an issue. You can see it in the media. Like, we've all seen those documentaries that are made on black historical figures where the black historical figure, this person was very obviously a beautiful dark-skinned person, and they go and cast someone who's either biracial or someone with lighter skin, and when that opportunity should have gone to an actor or an actress or a model with darker skin. It seems so pointless to say stay safe at this point, because if you're a black person in America, you're not safe, and there are people who want to kill you, and that's the truth. I don't know what's going to happen. I will continue to peacefully protest. I will continue to share and elevate black voices. I will continue to share links, and I'm going to link some petitions down below that you can sign right now. Please be careful with where you're donating money. Absolutely donate money, but there are a lot of sick people right now that are using the death of George Floyd, and they're using the arrest of black people to create like fake GoFundMes or like these, you know, donation pages, and the money's actually just going into a white man's pocket. So please be careful and do your research when you're donating money. I am sending you guys all of my love, and if you're out there on the front lines, I love you guys and I appreciate you. This is not gonna be another wave of Black Lives Matter movement and then it just gets brushed under the rug again until another black person is shot or killed or murdered. Okay, the world's not going to be the same by the end of this year, and I pray to God that we all make it. So I love you. Thank you for watching this video, and I love you.